KOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Carol Ann Baldwin is here. The show you're about to listen to is called In the Garden with Carol Ann. And if you have a question about your plants or your garden or your lawn or your trees, this is a good time to call. In fact, you got a whole hour. You can call 622-9622 is the number to call. On the air, you will be live. You will speak to Carol Ann. 622-9622. I feel like a tour guide at Disney World. Oh. To your left, you see the window. To the right.
To the right, you see Carol Ann. sitting here behind all the plants. You can almost see me.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
2 weeks from today is Christmas Eve.
It is, and it's a beautiful day.
3 weeks from today is New Year's Eve.
Oh, where did
then what? Then we start all over again.
Then we have greater hindsight, you know.
Right.
Something like
2020
that.
hindsight.
We'll have the 2020 hindsight. So it's just one of those fun things. Let me see. I'm trying to bring up something goofy for what we might be able to talk about sometime at some point today or the next couple of weeks. It's just like, it's the holiday times. I know a lot of folks are probably either, out shopping or trying to decorate for the holidays or out of town and that. So we try to have, how we do. We try to have a little fun every day, but
so can I combine gardening with culinary?
Sure.
Is it hard to grow grapes and actually make wine from them?
No, not really.
Yeah,
it's once you have grapes, I mean, if you were going to say you wanted to plant an area with grapes with the intention of making wine,
right.
You would at least investigate and find out which grapes are going to get you the flavor that you're after. Because the muscadine grapes are wine grapes, and muscadine grapes do grow here. That's,
So all grapes don't grow here, in other words?
No, not all grapes will grow here.
Okay.
Most of your table grapes and things like that, where you think of the Thompson seedless and those kind of, grapes like that, don't generally grow too well here. But the grapes that do well here are for jams, jellies, and wine. They do pretty good for that. I'm not a big wine person, so I'm not sure how
you would do it.
Yeah, which grapes would be the best selection for it. But you can put up your trellises, make your vineyard, because that's what it's called when you plant your grapes is a vineyard. Whether or not you're making, I think, jam or anything with them. And having your different varieties.
I didn't know that.
And yeah.
Okay.
It's your vineyard.
So even if you're not going to use them for wine, it's still a vineyard
because it's a vineyard.
I got it. Okay.
You got your vines down the line.
Okay.
It's like a citrus grove and apple orchard. That's different terms for different fruits or produce. And so. Yeah, once you get growing on them, you just got to grow the correct varieties that you're going to use and make your wine afterwards.
I guess just find some recipe or do you need
have
special
a family
equipment
recipe.
for that? Can you do it on the stove?
You need a big vat in order to hold your juice. Sieve to be able to screen out the pulp and the skins. Because you put it all in. It's not that you.
Is all the liquid from the grape, or do you add water to it?
That I'm not real sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that I'm not real sure. I know my sister-in-law couple different times. She would actually go out to the you pick places
Right.
and pick her grape and get the you pick grapes and bring them home and do her wine.
And make wine.
That's
awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, it's, you're adding some sugars to it. I guess there's, possibly there. Somebody will know how, one of our listeners
Somebody
will know
knows how,
I probably
yeah,
could Google
yeah.
it here on what you might need to add. But I know she had a big demi jar where it did its fermentation, I guess it is, and the big sieve to screen out all the large particulate, and then drew it off onto bottles with
Well, that'd be a cool idea for a gift, wouldn't it? If you could make your own wine. But you mentioned
there's
jellies,
kits,
jellies too. You said.
Yeah, you make your jams and jellies with your grapes and other fruit.
Now help me understand the difference between that. I know when I buy them, I like the jam better than the jelly.
You know what? I'm not preserves. I like better. Preserves have chunks
because you
of
actually
fruit
have
in
the
it.
fruit in it.
Have
Yeah,
pieces of fruit in it. Jellies and jams.
One is thicker than the other,
yeah,
right?
I think it is. Yeah, I think jam is thicker than the jelly is.
Yeah, I think so.
Jelly has a or it's thickened. I'm not sure whether gelatin or not, or
they add something to it.
Or jam is just the fruit. I'm not real positive.
And you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Yeah, hello. Yes, in order of the amount of fruit in a concoction, jelly is made from fruit juice.
Okay.
Jam has fruit in it, and preserves has even more fruit in it.
I gotcha.
So that's the rank.
Okay. So jelly's just the juice. Jam is probably finer pureed fruit. And then go to your preserves has the chunky
your
part.
Preserves actually have actual chunks of fruit.
Right, pieces. That's what I like. That's the one I like.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, thank you for getting that straight for us.
All right, you have a good day.
You too, thank you.
Because we went to this restaurant the other day and they served us our tea in jars.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Robin. Right?
Yeah.
And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you could actually make your own jelly and give it as a gift in one of those jars?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people do that often. I mean, you actually can get, during the holidays or before the holidays, you can actually get the jelly jars, like the mason jars, the ball mason jars and stuff, that have holiday embossment.
Oh, really?
Or the lids. Or
that.
people will make, get out their crafting fabrics and things and make, because, the canning jars have the two-part lid. And so you've got the ring, you can put the little fabric that matches, is colorful, and screw the ring on, put a pretty holiday label on it so
That's
that you know
cool
what it is
thing.
and when it was made.
See, I'm just getting old, so I'm thinking about these things now.
Okay, yeah, those handcrafts.
Good morning, you're on the air with Carol Ann.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning, you.
You see, last Tuesday it was 30, and this morning it was 60.
Yes. Yes, I'll take this any day.
Yeah, that was the official. Excuse me. That was the official low in Ocala here last Tuesday. Was 30 degrees. I was going to call in, but I had a dental appointment. I couldn't make the call. But anyways, we had a heavy frost. It almost looked like Wisconsin, like an inch of snow everywhere on the grass and on the roofs. And my grass is deader than a doornail, so it really took a hit. And I even had a little layer of ice in my bird bath.
Wow. Well, you're out there by the forest, so that's you're a little bit. Because I saw some light frost around when I headed out last week, but nothing too bad because I didn't even touch cold sensitive plants.
Yeah, but my neighbors a little. The weather forecast did not indicate that we were going to have a frost or even a light frost. And son of a gun, if we woke up that Tuesday morning and it was like a snowstorm here, a white 1-inch snowstorm, and a lot of my neighbors decided not to cover up some of their sensitive stuff because they didn't think it was. They said it was going to stay. The low was going to be 35.
Right.
They kept saying that all day. So, but it was 30 degrees here, and actually in Ocala, it was officially 30 degrees, and that's enough to knock stuff out. And a lot of plants took a hit, and I know all the lawn around here are dead brown.
Wow. Because even just, I mean, I know outside of the mall here we don't have anything sensitive, but the lawn, the grass there by the horses is green. I mean, it's got a little winter color in there, a little bit of that tan in there. But like I said, I have a tree canopy also that kind of keeps the frost from settling in. So different areas, but some areas did have frost. I didn't realize they had that much. That
like you just pointed out, a canopy, a tree canopy. It's interesting because there are spots in my yard where the leaves are on the trees and it's green around there, but everywhere else it's brown.
Sure. Yeah, you get under the trees and you always see the nice green grass for at least until sometime in January when we get it really bad.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like you said, I prefer the 60 in the morning rather than 30. But it's not even winter hasn't really officially arrived yet. So
no, it hasn't.
We got a long ways to go.
Oh yeah. So.
Okay. Well, have a good day, and I think I might even jump in the pool today because it's going to be. They say 84, and I do have a heater on my pool so I can warm it up a little bit because I know the temperature in the pool is around 58. So maybe I feel like a polar bear in there.
Oh yeah. I would be if you're thinking of that. I'd turn the heat on now, so that maybe by noonish you might be warm enough.
Yeah. Okay, well, have a good day, and it was nice talking.
Nice talking to you.
Sounds really good, actually.
Yeah. Oh, it sure does. Yeah, and especially because I did look, I brought up the, I did a 10-day forecast, but we're more than 10 days, we're more than 10 days from Christmas, but it's showing on the Weather Channel, at least, after today, much more seasonal temperatures. So between, let's see, this coming Monday, that's about the highest one after today being 79. But no, this is a Weather Channel. They're looking 10 days out or more, actually. And we're in the 70s, which is normal. That's seasonal this time of year. The low to mid 70s for highs, upper mid 50s for lows, all the way through till Christmas Eve. So the coldest looks like Sunday to Monday of, where's that? Like 21, 22, or 22, 23, Sunday, Monday. It looks like the coldest, and those are in the 60s.
And that's Saturday for the Christmas parade?
Saturday for the Christmas parade is, you know what, on the weather this morning, it says morning showers, it's a 50% chance of rain, 75 for high, 49 for low.
By 6 o'clock when the parade starts, I guess it should be good, huh?
Yeah, it should. Yeah, if they're saying for the morning, because I think tomorrow, possibly Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there's a chance of rain, all those days. So hopefully it'll be done and past us by early on Saturday. Yeah, it's our next front coming through. I mean, we could use the rain. Especially because we've been warm, but we didn't get any rain, really. I don't think the last cold that came through, we got a little rain from that. This will be, it looks like a cold front, but it's not really doing anything to us. So, it's going more towards the seasonal side of things.
So you want to get political?
Not much.
There are some trees on the square, and I know you know the story.
Yeah.
That were in the star banner. It said that they might be stressed because of being so close to traffic.
Right.
People are saying that there's this tree in this location, that tree in that location. They all have cars going by them. Why are they not stressed? The theory is
it's a hotel.
The hotel
that's going to be
wants to have a view of the park, and therefore they're going to take down those trees under the premise of
but see now where's the city of Ocala's arborist to
that's what I was going to add. That's my question.
And if you're taking them down, my understanding is that they were going to be replaced. So where does that fix the their view?
Okay, but let's just assume that's right. Okay, I'm not saying that's right.
Right.
Why do we even need an excuse? Don't we have the right to take down trees if we want to?
We do with permitting and things like that. But again, I want to say within Ocala, that is community property, kind of thing, that it's
So we all have a
one
say
of
in
those
it.
things, that it's one of those things. And why would you wish to take shade away from a city park that's to be a gathering
Good
place that
point.
helps
Good
to cool
point.
that area,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
draws residents down there for the activities that occur on
Plus,
the
it
square
holds the
throughout the
lights.
year.
Without the trees,
Without the trees. Where do you put the Christmas lights? Yeah, come on, people. And if we have to replace trees, that's even going to change, because I thought I read in that article from the other week was that replacing them again with a little more mature tree. It wouldn't be that they're going to put in a 5-foot sapling. It would be a tree that's got some years on it.
That's gotta be a
That would
job.
be, they bring the big tree spade in.
Doesn't that stress out a tree by putting in ripping up a tree?
Well, when you use a tree spade, you're getting a canopy the size, you're getting a root ball the size of its canopy.
So it doesn't stress it out?
It stresses it some, but not horribly, because that's, the bigger trees. It's, if you at home go to try to take out a tree and, with your shovel and you and your buddy, that's backbreaking work to try to get a root ball the same
guess so.
size as the canopy
I think so.
to move a tree. So we have a tendency to cut off more roots when we move them and have to. They'll still most of the time survive if we give them proper care afterwards.
I had a root one time in the septic line. Oh my gosh! That just one. Well, it was more than one root, but it was one big one.
One big one got through.
Oh my
it,
gosh!
blocked
It's
your
not
septic,
easy
Yeah.
to cut that out of there.
No, it's not. And they can be, especially because you never know quite how deep some of those roots might be.
And you can't use a chemical because they say it'll kill the tree.
Yeah.
So you got to cut it.
Right. And actually, if people think, or not think, people read the directions on things like that. If you have city sewer, you can use, there's products to remove roots out of your sewer lines, but you have to have city sewer.
Okay.
It actually tells you on the labels, in the state of Florida, if you're doing it in a septic tank, you're not allowed.
Oh, okay.
It's not legal for use because these chemicals can leach out because it ends up eventually going through your leach field.
I didn't know that.
And contaminating ground.
How many people read that though?
They don't.
Yeah.
But when people ask for it, I have a tendency to ask because it's not with the garden chemicals. It is within plumbing supplies because that's where your septic or your drainage issues are going to generally be tackled from. It's not a garden chemical. It's a pretty heavy duty type thing that It's a contaminant if it's put in somewhere where it could leak into the groundwater. So that's why in septic areas, I believe or in city sewer systems, you can still use it. But if you've got septic, nope. Leave it on the shelf and realize you're going to dig up your backyard. And watch what you plant in there afterwards.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't do it again, right?
So, yeah.
Phone lines are open if you want to call in. The number is 622-9622. If I could add that Carol Ann has created a Facebook page that is a counterpiece, I guess, to this show.
Yep.
It's a place for you to show what you have. And I have something I want to tell you, too.
Would you have a question you might have?
If you have a question that needs Caroline to look at the leaf or something like that, you can put it on the Facebook page.
If you got a great Christmas cactus you want to show off, if you've got that kind of stuff, in the springtime or fall time, hey, look at the size of this giant cabbage I grew. We take all that. It's fun to share it with our friends and fellow listeners.
So a rocket took off from Cape Canaveral.
Okay.
Delivering, among other things, mighty mice, the genetically engineered mice.
Okay.
The muscle, they're stronger, whatever.
Okay. More muscle mass.
And then regular mice. They're just trying to see the weightless. Okay. And it also said 120,000 worms. And then in parentheses, nematodes.
Oh.
Now, I saw the word nematode, and I said, that's a Carol Ann word.
That's Carol Ann word.
So I never knew a nematode is a worm.
Well, it's a microscopic worm.
So when they say 120,000 worms...
It probably fits in the bottle cap. Yeah,
that's it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're pretty... Yeah, you can't see them with the naked eye. You need quite a powerful microscope to see nematodes. What you can do is... There are two different kinds. Well, there's many kinds of nematodes. Some are parasitic nematodes that attack other organisms. And then there's predator nematodes that attack other organisms.
Like what?
And there's parasitic ones that attack plants.
Okay.
And so some of the nematodes actually will combat the bad nematodes, or they're ones that, they go through and destroy fungi. There's so many different kinds.
Really?
We've got at least 6 different nematodes in the soils here
Wonder
in
what they're
Florida.
studying. Wonder what they're going to learn from this.
I'm not sure. Yeah, because there's, the ones that we think of is root knot, and there's like a sting knot, kind of nematode, and they actually enter into the root system of a plant, damaging and feeding upon the tissue within that. And the roots, if you ever pull up a plant and they're gnarled and ugly and things like that, those and that maybe you didn't get a good crop or things, and that's why.
Really?
Because they were
Underground?
stealing, it was all
Just
happening
everywhere.
underground.
All right, you do have a phone call. Good morning.
Hi.
You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Well, good morning, Carol Ann.
Morning.
Sonny.
Yes, Sonny.
How you doing, Larry?
Good. Hey, son.
This is sounds like a good plot for a science fiction movie.
Oh, yeah.
Send up all those worms, and the next thing you know, a few of them escape, and because there's no gravity, they grow humongously, and the next thing you know, they're looking for food.
Maybe
and
this
guess who becomes the food?
This sounds like the precursor to Alien. With Alien. We get the prequel.
Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is.
But something like that escape, and the next thing you know, it's either clogging up the operating machinery in the space station, or they whatever, they recycle everything in the space station.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I don't see how that gets recycled.
Yeah. That's. Oh yeah.
So here we got a new movie for everybody.
Yeah, we
What
do.
to think about.
Somebody start thinking on that one. Do it as the prequel for Alien. That they actually thought it was an alien being, but it was actually something that we brought up to experiment with, and it went all wrong.
The other thing is, you talk about the city and the county, and you got to get an arborist and all this. Mm-hmm. I can remember Northwest 44th Avenue used to be one of the roads with a giant canopy over from one end to the other, up to 326.
Right.
And same thing with, that Shady Oaks Road or 31st Street.
Right.
I can remember. That used to be a canopied street.
Right.
And I have the brochure and everything from the county saying that they were going to leave the trees and leave the canopy and everything else. And when they widened 44th Avenue, they haven't even put up a weed yet.
Right.
And it sure made a big difference in the temperatures and everything around here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is what tickles me. It's the typical county city deal. Do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
So anyway, have a great day. Thank you very much for your programming, Larry, and thank you, Carol Ann, for participating.
My pleasure.
It's really a joy to listen to what's going on and listen to what I might be able to do in my own place.
There you go.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Sonny.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's bright spot in the broadcast.
Oh
week
yeah.
For sure. Hey.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Look what they're doing.
Oh, they're putting up the big wreath.
I wondered when they were going to do that. Oh my God.
Coming up with the scissor jack to get up there and get the wreath up.
Putting it up today.
Hey.
Putting up the wreath on the mall.
Oh yeah.
They're late.
Yeah, they are. Well, you know what? This year we had fewer. We have a week less between Thanksgiving and Christmas. If nobody noticed, that Thanksgiving came as late as it possibly could.
Right.
And you figure the Christmas is always the 25th, so we have that issue of not being able to get quite as much stuff done.
I was going to ask you your favorite Christmas song, so I could use it as bumper music.
Yeah, and it's like I'd have to think. That's a hard.
All right, you think of it during the break. We'll do Zydeco Christmas.
Okay.
Okay, Zydeco Christmas.
That'll work.
It's accordion.
Yeah, that'll whatever.
All right, we've got to take a break. I'm going to ask you if you want to call 732-8000, get your name in the box to possibly win this carpet. We'll pick a name on December 20th. So 732-8000 to win the carpet and to win a $20 gift certificate from Bob Wines from Carol Ann. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what you have?
That's what I got.
That number is 622-9622. So 622-9622 for the Bob Wines and 732-8000 to get your name in the running for the carpet. We'll be right back.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. House Democrats have narrowed their articles of impeachment against President Trump down to 2 to be announced this morning.
Those articles will focus on obstruction and abuse of power. Meanwhile, Doug Collins, the ranking Republican on the House Judiciary Committee, is accusing Democrats of racing to jam impeachment through on a, quote, clock and a calendar ahead of the 2020 presidential election.
Fox's Sean Langell, President Trump on Twitter, calls Democrats' move to impeach him sheer political madness. Finland's new prime minister chosen today, Sanna Marin, is now the youngest world leader.
The 34-year-old heading up a coalition government of 5 different parties. All 5 leaders are women, 4 are under the age of 35. The incoming prime minister playing down the symbolism, saying her focus is on political issues. Finland was the first country in the world to vote women into parliament back in 1907. Marin is its 3rd female prime minister.
Fox's Simon Owen. America's listening to Fox News.
Napa know-how.
Right now, a 5-quart jug of Napa Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a Platinum filter is just $23.98. That's a great deal for a great oil, which is another reason why this is the most wonderful time of the year. That's Napa Full Synthetic Oil and a Platinum filter for $23.98. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. While supplies last. Offer ends 12/15/19.
Pros, start with Lowe's for the brands you rely on every day, like A.O. Smith and SharkBite. Lowe's is the only place you'll find A.O. Smith Signature Series water heaters. From point of use to 100-gallon capacities. Whatever size the job, you can count on us to have what you need. Plus, the Signature Series now includes gas and electric tankless models. Make your next plumbing job easier and save time by choosing from our full assortment of SharkBite push-to-connect fittings. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. U.S. only.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. U.S. Senator Marco Rubio has asked the Bureau of Prisons to conduct a thorough review of Florida's Coleman Federal Correctional Complex following reports of sexual abuse of female inmates by male staff at the facility. A Suwannee County man is behind bars after he was caught on video beating a dog. A man was shot and wounded by police over the weekend following a vehicle chase in Hallandale Beach. A man who was living in a Volusia County storage unit to avoid arrest for violating parole related to a prior murder conviction has been arrested on suspicion of shooting a man in the head. Thousands of family members of fallen military servicemen and women were flown to Orlando to spend 5 days at Walt Disney World Resort, paid for and arranged by actor Gary Sinise. And Disney World has replaced 2 celebrity narrators who were set to appear at this year's Candlelight Processional at Epcot. Cheetah Rivera and Warwick Davis were replaced by Alton Fitzgerald White and Gina Davis. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Near record-breaking high temperatures today, very warm and humid with partial sunshine. Showered a few spots late in the afternoon. High today 82 to 86. Tonight, partly cloudy and warm with a passing late night shower. Dry near the coast. Low tonight 62 to 69. Humid tomorrow with intervals of clouds and sun, along with a brief shower or two. Wednesday's high 76 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Medical providers are special, and to look special, they go to Scrub Paradise in Ocala. Located off Easy Street next to Shoe Carnival, Scrub Paradise has a wide selection of top brand scrubs, medical shoes, and accessories. Embroidery is also available. Don't settle for the same boring scrubs. Visit Scrub Paradise today or call 352-873-4368. Your favorite brands are on sale. 352-873-4368. That number again is 352-873-4368.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
So I asked you, Carol Ann, what's your favorite Christmas song, and you picked this one.
I picked this, just this version of Little Drummer Boy is.
They told me,
Oh, it's great.
The percussion just.
A newborn king to see,
I'm waiting for the drums.
Yeah.
Our finest gifts we bring, to lay before the king,
Here it come, right? Come on.
So to honor him, when we.
There we go.
There it is.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That is really good. Is there a video of that, do you know?
Yeah, it is. That's my daughter had sent me the video.
Oh my gosh. Is that new?
Spectacular. It was the 2019 CMA Christmas sale, and she's just like, she sent it. It was
oh my
fantastic.
gosh.
I was like, wow.
Oh my
I love good percussion.
Gotta share that with Robin's brother. He's
Yeah.
a drummer. Oh my gosh, that is really good.
That was a
new favorite for me. I'm definitely adding it to the lineup for Christmas Day.
Cool.
Yeah, very good. King and Country. For those who want to know what that was, King and Country, Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was That
Who
was,
are they? That's a country group?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't listen to a lot of country. I listen a little more either classic rock or old rock, kind of stuff.
Right.
But my daughter does, and I don't know how I'm not sure how she happened upon it, but it's it probably reminded her, and I can't remember the name of the band. Many years ago, up in Gainesville at the medieval fair, there was a fantastic Scottish percussion band. And they were fantastic.
Oh, really?
Oh, I could have just sat there. Well, part of it is sat there and watched them play, but their music was fantastic too. Yeah, but all the percussion was
the
just
visual
fantastic.
Was good too.
Visual was just as
That's
good.
That's what I'm
as the
wondering
sound.
about this. Is the visual as good as
the video was good too.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I just got. Wow, thank you. That's cool.
You're welcome. Yeah.
You never know what somebody's gonna say when you say, "What's your favorite Christmas song?"
That's it. And see, now I'm the one. Now, yes, I have a holiday shirt on. I don't have my bells or my hat today. Just kind of giving my coworkers a break on that, not doing it overboard too much. But it's like Sunday, I had on my Christmas shirt, my Christmas bells, my Christmas hat, going through, and everybody's like, that's just. I'm the only one at work wearing the hat and the bells, all from Thanksgiving through Christmas. So look out.
All right, phone lines are open if you want to call Carol Ann. The number is 622-9622. And in the past, we've talked about gardening gifts. I think we did in the last week.
Yeah.
Actually. So
some
if you want to ask about that, that's open game, of
right,
course.
we got all kinds of different stuff. I will share the other, what day was it? I shared a post from the University of Florida on mistletoe, and that the great holiday tradition of hanging mistletoe. Mistletoe is an invasive, a parasitic plant, very commonly found in the tops of oak trees right here in
right outside the door here.
Yeah, we've got some right outside the door in all different locations. But mistletoe and the holidays, because I brought up Origins of 12 Christmas Traditions. The website is mentalfloss.com. It says mistletoe has been associated with fertility and vitality since ancient times.
Any reason for that?
When the Celtic Druids saw it as such because it blossomed even during the most frigid winter. And the association stuck over the centuries. So it was more of it that was blooming. It was easy to see how fertility and kissing can be linked, but no one is quite sure how smooching under the shrub actually, and even in the article, actually it's a parasitic plant, became a common Christmas pastime. We do know the tradition was popular with English servants in the 18th century, then quickly spread to those they served. The archaic custom once allowed men to steal a kiss from any woman standing beneath. If she refused, they were doomed with bad luck. So.
Wow, so it's up to you.
It's up to,
we're taking a chance.
But,
we could either get a kiss or
I'm not sure.
Bad
I think
luck.
Was it the guys?
The women
If she refused, they were doomed with bad luck.
Yeah, so she's the one in charge.
Yeah, no, that's supposed to be.
She's under the mistletoe.
Under the mistletoe.
I'm not taking a chance with that one.
Watch out there. And what was the other one? And this is something, and I like eggnog. I know there's a lot of people who don't like eggnog.
I like it like from the store.
I buy Publix eggnog.
Yeah, but have you ever had somebody make it in a blender?
Oh, I've made it in the blender.
I don't like it that
back,
way,
back
for whatever.
in high school, actually, now they wouldn't let us carry the rum in, but we had to use rum extract, which was okay, but not as good. I made it fresh, and it was good.
Really?
It was,
maybe I never had it done right.
Could be.
But at the store, TG Lee, man.
Yeah, there you go.
They know how to make it.
Publix, Southern Comfort brand. And I like mine with a little adult beverage. But it's hard to imagine why anyone would be inspired to chug a raw egg-based drink. But historians agree that nog was probably inspired by a medieval drink called posset, P-O-S-S-E-T, a milky drink made with eggs, milk, and sometimes figs or sherry. These were all pricey ingredients, so the wealthy often used it to toast with. Eggnog became a holiday drink when colonists brought it over from England, but they found a way to make it on the cheap, nixing the figs and substituting rum for sherry. And how about the weird nog name? No one knows for sure, but historians theorize that nog was short for noggin, which was a slang for wooden cup, or a play on the Norfolk variety of beer, also called nog, which itself may be named after the cup. So, your eggnog is a wooden cup egg drink.
So
and done well with rum and or Southern Comfort.
In the liquor store, they sell it already
mixed,
alcoholized.
Yeah. I prefer to add my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer to.
I've never had it. I'm just saying I've seen it.
Because I'm not sure whether or not it's actually liquor or malt beverage that they put in, and if I'm going to do that, I'm going to put the.
See, I don't know enough about that.
Well, when
stuff.
you get these flavored drinks and stuff, they're not liquor. They're
So where will you be Christmas morning?
My house.
You wake up at your own house?
Yeah, I'll be home. Yep. Yeah, I'll be home.
New Year's morning?
I'll be at home. Yeah, I'll be home.
Margaritaville's having a free New Year's party. They're going to be packed.
Yeah, cool. Oh, I'm sure. You mean the community Margaritaville?
The one down that they just built. You know where?
Yeah, the community.
Splendid China used to be.
Yeah, is that?
Yeah, where Splendid China used to be, they built Margaritaville. I have never been there. I don't know.
Like a bar,
I don't know what it is, but they're having a big party today.
Oh well, a little far.
A little far is right.
Little far.
Stay in the hotel if you're going down there, especially New Year's Eve.
Especially New Year's Eve.
Oh
Yeah,
my
don't
gosh.
be on the road for the. Yeah, don't drink and drive, but don't drink and drive, especially on holidays. We have a tendency to drink either more or different things that you would not normally. And so your body and your tolerances and the
Different,
food
huh?
and the socializing and the happy times that you may not realize how much you've actually consumed. So always, if you can stay put or have a designated driver. And I'm sure that AAA and that we'll have the tow to go programs going on again.
And you know
as
that
they do
started
every
in
year.
Marion County?
Did that originally
Yeah,
start?
that started
Oh, wow.
here. Now it's
That's
all over
cool.
the country.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic program. And nowadays, with the ability to get a ride or with rideshare things and stuff like that, do be safe for the
And you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning, Carol Ann.
Morning.
Sunny, cool and back.
Sure.
My recipe for the eggnog is I buy the pre-mixed eggnog. I don't do that from scratch, but I use a dark rum. I don't know if I can say the name.
I don't mind.
Myers rum.
Oh, okay. You
and
like
it's,
Myers? Okay.
Really dark, and it's kind of heavy as far as alcohol is concerned.
Okay.
But I also put in before I add the rum, I add cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg.
Okay.
And mix that all up, and then I add in the rum, and then I add that concoction into the eggnog, and I think it's pretty darn good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like to put a little cinnamon, too. I've never done the nutmeg. Maybe I'll do that. I do have nutmeg. And I like Southern Comfort in it, or I right now I have Captain Morgan, but I may have to look at a bottle of Myers and see how that one works.
Well, I'm not particularly, the brand, but it has to be the dark
a good
rum.
dark rum, yeah.
Yeah, because I think the darker rum has more of the taste of rum.
Yes,
rather than,
has that flavor in there.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
All right. Sounds good.
Getting
Sounds
ready
good.
for New Year's already.
There we go. Yeah, Christmas Eve. Got to have some eggnog.
Oh, yeah, Christmas Eve.
Sure.
That's for sure.
All right.
All righty.
Thanks for calling
Have a good
again.
day,
Yeah,
everybody.
thank you.
2 weeks from today. And you're
2
doing
weeks
your
from
show
today.
2 weeks from today?
I guess
Not
so.
sure?
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Yeah, we'll come up with
Be fun.
something.
It'll
We'll
be
come up with
fun.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, probably
Might
one
have
of
to make some more cookies, maybe.
I need to figure something out I could make.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm thinking about the wine and
The
the
wine
jelly.
and stuff, different stuff, and just and I can't. I thought I could click on and this is just a page. Most clicked cookies. All these cookies
Most
that are
clicked cookies.
most clicked cookies. Oh, maybe here's the list. I was trying to find. It had there's just a thing. It was like the most popular Christmas cookie in each state. But then they gave you the map,
Really?
and you can't click
Really?
on the map. So, and it's
Oh, no.
not seeing where I can click on it, because I went, created a map. Let me see if I click on the word map.
You have another caller. Let me
Okay.
put that
Yeah,
call
do
through.
that, yeah.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning,
Mike
yeah.
McCoy.
Yeah.
All right, here's your perfect nog. Okay.
Okay.
Eggnog. You get a bottle of Dewar's whiskey.
Okay.
That's it. That's all.
And you set the eggnog near it somewhere, and
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. If you want to put some eggs in a pan and with some bacon, that's okay too.
Okay.
But put the eggs where they belong. Let's put the Dewar's where it belongs.
make deviled eggs and the shot of the shot of the Dewar's, right?
All right, I'll tell you what else you can put in the Dewar's.
Okay.
You can put a little bit of ginger ale. I'm talking a teaspoon in a
Just enough
nice
to-
big glass.
There you go.
That's all you need. That's
the holiday
perfect,
toast, huh?
Perfect. Absolutely. You drink you a few of those, and I promise you, Christmas will be good.
There you go. There you go.
So, thanks a lot, guys.
All right, you're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so I clicked on the map thing for this, and I guess it's a General Mills website. So, oh wow, it looks like the peanut butter blossoms are the most popular holiday cookie in the U.S. overall, and it was chosen by 7 states, Florida being one of them. Florida, Pennsylvania, California, Kentucky, Nevada, South Carolina, and Wyoming.
What is it
all
again?
say the peanut butter blossom. That's the peanut butter cookie with the Hershey Kiss in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. Those are okay.
It's
They're
not a
not
big
my
deal for
favorite
me.
cookie.
No, not me either.
No. I mean,
that's a favorite?
that's a favorite.
Somebody's paid somebody.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they're going through because I mean, I'd definitely do a white chocolate macadamian over that.
Me too. I like that too.
Or rum balls. Yeah.
You know what I like? I like the one like the kids make like in kindergarten.
The rollout cookies?
I don't know, but they're always got the extra. They got more cream
more
on them
frosting
than
than
you're
anything.
supposed to have.
Oh yeah, though that's what I make too. I have to make. Actually, I have to make mine. I might try to get them made on.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Hi, this is Hugh again. Boy, this is a great program today.
We're just having fun.
Hey, my first marriage, my mother-in-law, born and raised in Germany, wonderful cook, baker. You know, they always make fun of fruitcake at this time of the year.
Right.
And she made a fruitcake, and right after it come out of the oven, she would pour brandy over it and let it soak in the brandy.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, I would take that to work for the boys, and let me tell you, that was the happiest, hardest working bunch of guys you'd ever want to see.
Yeah, rum or brandy soaked. I've heard that's about the only way to make them edible.
but I tell you, the guys really enjoyed them. I suppose the brandy got to them a little bit, but
sure.
I always look forward to that time of the year when she would make those. But I wish she was still around with us because I really could go for one of those this year.
yeah. Unless you can find the recipe, it's tough.
Yeah, you were talking about mistletoe before.
Yes.
And several years ago on the program here, I had a tree in my yard that had mistletoe growing in it.
Right.
And it was kind of like overtaking the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And you suggested that maybe having somebody come up and trim that out because it could eventually maybe kill the tree.
Right.
And I did, and I had a guy go up in that tree, and he spent a couple hours up there cutting all that mistletoe out. You know,
right.
It was just unbelievable. I didn't realize that mistletoe even grow in a tree. You know.
It actually what it does. I mean, it creates its own food. I mean, it does put roots into the limb that it attaches to, and it steals moisture and a couple other things because it creates its own photosynthesis, so it does feed itself, but eventually it'll weaken out a tree. And so even when you're going to take it out, you can't just break it off. You actually have to take off. The one article said 6 inches below where it's at. But I had read one time before you've got to go much further than that. But so a minimum of 6 inches.
Can you see the root?
You probably could see the roots in it, so you would know if you've gone far enough. But how's your tree doing now?
The fellow that I had go up there was familiar with this kind of a situation, and he says, wherever gave you advice yourself, it was a very good thing to do because he says this tree would not be here in maybe a year or two from now if I wouldn't have had that done.
Well, look at there. So and the tree's doing pretty good now?
It's hanging in there. Yeah.
Good.
I keep my eyes open for mistletoe, but I haven't seen nothing. But
good.
Maybe eventually some will come back, but it was just an amazing situation to see all that mistletoe and that tree like that. And that guy spent a couple hours cutting it out.
Oh, sure. In order to get from each of the different branches, it's a tough one. Yeah.
Well, I saved one piece and I hung it up in the house, and then whenever the wife went underneath it, I gave her a little kisser.
There you go. There you go.
Good thing, because otherwise it would have been bad luck for you.
Right. Okay, guys, take care. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
So do you have any young ones that will get toys?
No, well, I mean, I guess my grandson will get some kind of toys, but he's a little older now, not the little kid age, so his toys are getting a little more sophisticated. 12.
Oh yeah, that's
a little more sophisticated on that. So, well, they're not listening because they live down south and he's in school. But no, I do for him. He's got his favorite video games on stuff, and so I'll get him a gift card that he can use within his game. So it lasts a little while for him, and then some fun stuff.
Do you have any proteges in your family? People who are following in your footsteps?
Nah.
Wanting to be gardeners?
Nah.
Oh my gosh! You got to.
I mean, my daughter's got some cactus or succulents going, but that's about it. And,
my first garden. You got to give it a toy or a game or whatever. My first garden.
My first garden.
The gardener's gift.
The garden. Well, I mean when you have children.
Sounds
I mean
like
there are
title.
kinds of different. There are all kinds of little gift kind of things for the young gardener or to introduce a child into gardening, or not necessarily even gardening, but plants themselves, the terrarium kits, the little fairy garden kits and things like that. A lot of times you find them in the craft sections of like Michael's and places like that. You don't think of it as a plant place, but that's because they come with the little packets of seeds and the little seed starter, the little cocoa core kind of stuff, and it's a neat little startup kit. Or if you've got a child who is kind of interested in gardening, but you don't have a lot of room, you can always do a square foot gardening setup. Just hey, we go to the store and we buy everything and build it, or and build your garden and get your plants and get started in a garden, and it's all there's a lot of different ways to introduce young people in, and the holidays kind of makes it fun, just so long as we don't forget to carry that forward 3 or 4 weeks after the holiday is passed.
This is a strictly gardening question here. Do you have a way for a guy like me to remember when to put fertilizer into a potted plant? Because I got these little tubes of Miracle Grow.
Oh, the ones you just mix with water?
Mix with a gallon, it says.
Right.
And do I do that once a year?
No. Well, read the package.
What it says.
But the package is probably on houseplants. You're probably looking at every couple of weeks of giving them, it's...
The whole gallon?
No, not the whole, it depends on the size of the pot.
Oh, okay.
So you might mix up your thing into a jug that you can cap off, and that way you can give them some every couple of weeks.
Gotcha. Just a little, like a
a little bit.
something?
That one watering every few weeks will be the fertilizer one. And then you'll do plain water, fertilizer, plain water, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So you can either mark it on the calendar, or you go, you know what, that's looking just a little bit sad. I'm going to go ahead and give it some once a month.
So you use kind of your judgment by looking at it. Okay.
Yeah.
You do have a phone call. Good morning. You're on there with Carol Ann.
Hey, Carol Ann.
Hey.
Jim.
Yeah.
I've got some plants still growing.
Oh, good. Okay.
I have some eggplant, ichiban, and a white eggplant.
Nice.
And I did something unusual this year. I got some chocolate mint.
Okay.
Pineapple sage.
Mm-hmm.
And some purple basil.
Okay.
And they are just growing well.
Oh, yeah.
This 29-degree weather we had didn't affect just the ichiban eggplant is about 4 feet tall.
Wow.
And some of the upper leaves got just a little burn.
Got a little burnt, yeah.
I got a sweet red pepper.
Mm-hmm.
It's Honey's giant red bell, and they're still growing like crazy.
Fantastic. Are you getting fruit from all of them right now?
I am.
Well, that's great.
Yep.
That's great. And your mints are so easy to grow. They can actually even take over an area. So you might want to make sure you keep harvesting, and you can always with some of those just put them in like the basil or something. You can actually chop that up and put it in like a little bit of olive oil, and if you put it in the freezer, that the olive oil will set up some and allow you to take it and put it into like another baggie where you could just take a little bit and add it to your, to work your pesto up or something like that.
Correct. I share it with my neighbors. A big container garden, got 55-gallon plastic barrel half.
Oh, okay.
And it just took over one of the barrels.
Oh,
the
yeah.
chocolate mint did.
Yeah. Yes, it
Sarah
will.
has some home medical caretakers because she has Parkinson's, and
Okay.
I hang up little bundles of that and let it dry, and I share that with our caretakers.
Sure.
Two of them really like hot tea.
Oh, yeah.
And that chocolate mint makes great tea.
Oh, fantastic. I bet that would go good in hot cocoa, too. Get a little mint chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah likes hot cocoa, and I will put a little bit of that in there.
Sure.
It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
How fragrant that is.
It is. It just kind of perks things up, makes it just a little more special.
Yep. Just thought I'd give you a little bit of gardening to mix in with the eggnog.
There we go. yes, we know. And it's been a silly kind of morning.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas to you,
Thank
too.
you so much.
Thanks.
Good to hear from you. Yeah, sometimes we get distracted, I guess.
We do.
I think I'm the culprit there, by the way.
But I mean, at different times, we will always go with what you, the caller, want. You know, if you wanted to get onto some little more plant kind of stuff, we would have been doing a little more plant kind of stuff.
And today we have
you got the
your
video.
new favorite
you got
Christmas
the video
song
on there.
Yeah, right. I found
the video. Yeah.
This is definitely exciting.
Yeah. It just gives you, it's a good, powerful.
Next week.
1
week before Christmas
Eve. Right.
All right. Thank you, Caroline, for doing this.
My pleasure.
You have to work today?
I sure do. So I get out of here and hustle on.
All right, so we're using Caroline's favorite new Christmas song. I think it's mine, too.
Yeah.
It is an amazing rendition of Little Drummer Boy by King and Country. Never heard of it before.
Nope, but it's great.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you, Larry.
Our finest gifts we bring, power up a bum.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Chris Foster. House Democrats announce 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump: abuse of power for demanding politically motivated investigations in Ukraine, and obstruction of Congress for withholding evidence and witnesses. Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler.
Unlike President Trump,